Hey, it's Fraser from Plant Strong Fitness, and I wanted to give you a rundown on our special custom programs that we do for people. These are custom vegan plant-based nutrition programs, and we also combine them with our training programs as well. Everything is customized for you from the ground up. I send out a questionnaire, and you fill that in with detail, and it's going to be things around your schedule, your lifestyle, your current diet, your current training routine, your goal, when you want to achieve that goal, your current body composition, anything that you're challenged with or troubled with, or any obstacles and hurdles that you want to add in there. We take all of it into account. Everything is accounted for in these programs, and I build each one uniquely from the ground up. Now, what you see here is I have different demo plans here, and these plans were made for someone, so they're specific to the person that these were for. Every plan is going to be different. Some plans are going to have a completely different structure to others, different food items, different recipes, different calorie counts, and so on and so forth. So you got to remember that these are custom made for each person. So what I want to show you is I have two plans here, a custom plan demo and a rigid mock plan. Now, what the difference between these two is that the rigid mock plan is very specific. It tells you exactly the portion sizes that you need to have, like 1 cup of this, half a cup of that, 1 tablespoon of this. And I track and count all the calories for you. So there's no calorie counting involved. You just measure in terms of cups and tablespoons and things like that. That's specific. I give you specific foods to eat within a specific calorie intake. So that's very dialed in. On the other hand, you have a custom flexible plan. This one is more generalized. It's still the same structure and system as the rigid one, but the portion sizes and the suggested food items, you have more room to breathe. So you have multiple food choices. You have more generalized portion suggestions. The key here is that most trainers usually give their clients one of the two program styles. So they'll either give them a very rigid plan that gets results, but it's very unsustainable. It's really hard to maintain. People feel deprived. They start losing their sanity. They develop, disordered eating, and so many instances that I've seen with the rigid plan by itself. So what I do is I take that and I combine it with a flexible plan. Other people might provide a flexible plan, which is great. It helps people, get their foot in the door, and it gives them some guidelines, but it's not very specific. It's very easy to overeat and make poor food choices with a completely flexible plan. And because of that, people don't necessarily get the results and create the vision for themselves that they want. So what I've done is I've combined the two. So I've got set the same structure up, but I've done double the work. So that way you have a rigid plan to work with to get your foundation, your baseline, and then I've created a flexible plan so you can insert more flexibility within that rigid structure. And that way it allows you to be dialed in and get specific, but you have more flexibility to change things, change food groups, go out to eat a little bit, all those types of things. What you'll see with this plan, this specific plan for this person, is that there's 5 different types of days. Some plans will be a Monday through Sunday schedule. Some plans might be a workout day, a non-workout day, and a refeed day. Some plans might be a workout type 1, workout type 2, and workout type 3 days. And I'll explain what these are because this is specific to this person. And what I'm basically doing is I'm looking at their training schedule and I'm looking at their lifestyle and what they want to achieve, and I'm finding out and I'm dialing into exactly what is the best type of structure for that person. And here you have a bunch of notes. These are all suggestions on how to rearrange the plan if you need to, about tips and suggestions and things to consider when you are executing the plan. Here I have the projected calorie intakes for the 3 different days. So you have a fat loss, maintenance, and bulking. Again, bulking, fat loss, maintenance, day 1, day 2, type 1, type 2, type 3. What that does is that allows you to have a little bit of room of variation. So if you're finding that you're too far below maintenance and you're dropping weight when that's not the plan, you have breathing room to go slightly above by inserting a small food item without going into like a full-on fat gaining mode. So I put these here purely for more your interest than anything else. You don't really have to worry about the numbers too much because I do all the work for you on that front, but this is more just to give you those numbers so you have a visual on that yourself. And it's important to remember that these numbers are just an approximation. No calculator is ever going to be able to take into account your exact metabolic needs and your own unique physiology. So this is just an estimation, and based on that, we start with this as a baseline and we can work from there. What you'll see here, if we go to these plans, is we pull down to a workout day type 1 and a workout day type 1 on the flexible. Can you see the difference in the plan? Here it's a range of different foods. So depending on the person, if they want oats or tofu scramble, if they want tempeh or chickpeas for breakfast, whatever they want, they have more room to breathe, and they can still follow that 1.5 servings or 1.5 palm size of protein. And the reason why I say palm size is if you're eating out or you don't have access to measuring cups or a scale or anything like that, you can use a visual. You can visualize the volume of your palm, and that's going to be unique to you. Everyone's is going to be a different size. So that way, it's kind of close and congruent with a cup per se. And again, I get more specific here. I talk about 1.5 cups of raw oats or the tofu scramble. And I put the tofu scramble recipe at the end of this program. So, and I give very specific amounts, 1 large banana, 1 cup of almond milk. So I give very dialed in amounts. You don't have to worry about the calories. All you'll see is tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, and things like that, and you follow that in detail. So I give you a really detailed plan here, whereas this gives you a little bit of breathing room. You can choose different foods. You have a range of different starchy carbohydrates to choose from and things like that. And again, we pull down to, we have a smoothie in there as well. And I give you 2 different options for your lunch. So, this way you have, beans or lentils or tempeh and then a different type of rice. And I give recipes in the back for that as well, on how I cook it myself. And then here, a more generalized version for you to follow. So that way, if you're eating out and you swing by Whole Foods or whatever you do, you can improvise and follow this closer than you can follow this. So that is the whole purpose behind that. And the purpose behind the day type 1, type 2, and type 3 protocol, like you saw, see you got a type 2 day here, is that this person has 3 different types of training systems they're working on. One is a 60-minute, one is 120 minutes, and one is 3 hours long. So what I've done is I've ramped up the nutrition around their pre, intra, and post workout to make them perform the best they can. And again, more generalized plan and a more dialed in plan. So you have 2 different options for breakfast, or you could sub in a completely new option with the allowed food lists and different things in here as long as it fits the calorie intake of that meal. That's the thing to remember, is you can sub these things in. And again, post-workout, meal B, I give a less calorie dense option and a more calorie dense option. So that way, if you need to taper things down a little bit, you have that option. Otherwise, if you want to bump it up and you want to put on some more strength and size and weight, you have the more calorie dense option as well. And again, you have more variation within here to make flexible changes with the plan. And again, we have workout day type 3. So that's a 33-hour workload. It's a lot of work. And this person is a high performance machine. So this has to be dialed in for them. So this is really dialed in terms of ample nutrition so they can perform, they can sustain their endurance, they feel good, they recover quickly. All those things are really important. And you can see here I've actually increased the caloric density of the smoothie. So I add different things in based on their needs for that day. And we go down here and again, give different food variations and things like that. And it's important to remember that this plan could be different to yours. Yours might be completely different than this one. So a non-workout rest day, which is basically no training, so I take out certain parts of the program in that instance, and just sub in a more recovery type protocol for the non-workout days. And then we have a refeed day, which is essentially a caloric spike in your nutrition. 1, to help you perform at a really high level, and 2, it actually stimulates more fat loss if you do it the right way. So it stimulates muscle growth, more performance, and fat loss all in one if you do it the right way and you execute it the right way. So we have a refeed meal in here post workout. So after his largest workout, he's going to refuel with 1500 calories. Everyone's going to be different. You may only do 500. Everyone is different. This guy is a big guy, so he can handle a lot more food than other people. But realize that everyone will be different, and you may not even need a refeed day. You may have a different structure completely. So what you'll see here is I give the total caloric variation through the day, and that's for a 3-hour workout, so that's a lot of work. And then what we have on this plan is we have the suggested food list. So that way, if you're unsure about what to add in or you don't like something, you can replace it with something else. And I have a staple meal recipe and ingredients breakdown for you. So we have falafels, black beans, rice with rainbow veg, tempeh, quinoa, and rainbow veg. We have some chocolate and ice cream with berries and pumpkin seeds. All those things help recovery. They help fuel glycogen. They really help with fat loss and optimal health in many ways. We have the garlic tofu scramble in there with the recipe breakdown. And here's even a refeed treat for you, a gooey chocolate cake. And this is a healthy version too. And you can do that on your refeed if you wanted. Now, what you have here is you have notes talking about how to adapt the plan. So say, for example, you start in the first week and you start getting some results and you get to week 4 and the results kind of start to slow down a little bit. What it means is that as your body fat goes down or as you get closer to your goal, you need to shift things. Everything is like a sliding scale. So what I do here is I give you steps and suggestions on what aspects of your meals you adjust, even by 10 to 20%. So I give examples. If you're having a snack meal and you're having 4 tablespoons of hummus, reduce it back to 2 to 3. Little subtle changes that will help you spur on more progress. So I give you breakdowns in here on what things to adjust in the plan, how to manipulate the ratios of different foods on your plate in a simple, clear way, so you can understand it, so you can get to a place where you can execute these plans and continue to make progress 1 month, 2 months, 3 months from now, and you don't have to go out and get a new plan. That's the most fundamental thing, is that we don't want you to have to go back and feel like you have to get a new plan every time you hit a plateau. So it's like a sliding scale. So this is a dialed in plan here. This is very specific to his needs. This is going to get him to his goal specifically. Combined with that, we have custom training splits. Again, depending on what type of injuries you have, what your goal is, how busy you are, how long you can train for, how advanced you are at working out. Everything is going to be different. So I put in here a breakdown of FAQs specific to your plan. So I insert things that I know you will have questions about, and I break it down into categories. So this person got a push pull hypertrophy day 1, day 2, day 3, and then they got a hurt protocol, which is high intensity resistance training. Now what I did is, this is a 6-day split. Now what we did is, this was just designed to basically totally recomp their body. So burn fat, build muscle, get them stronger, get them functional, all at the same time. I put in specific rep ranges for each thing. I find out what movements they're struggling with, what movements they enjoy. I mix those in there as well. Your plan could be completely different. Your plan might be a home workout. Your plan might be a partial endurance workout. It could be a pure powerlifting workout. It might be designed for you if you have shoulder issues or back issues or whatever your challenges are. I can create a custom plan for that as well. And what I do is I synergize the plan with the nutrition plan. So that way, when you're on your training split and you get down to your push hypertrophy workout, you know that you can then go to your plan and you can follow a workout day type 1, because maybe that's an easy workout. And you follow this protocol for that specific day. Say, for example, you miss going to the gym one day when you were planning on going. You can just go straight to the non-workout day nutrition. You can skip the workout day nutrition and go straight to the non-workout day nutrition and plug that in and make it work for you that day, so you don't feel like you're having to play catch up. Everything is in alignment and it's congruent with what type of activity you're doing that day. So this is basically it, guys. This is the customized plans. These are built from the ground up. Everything is created from scratch based on your specifics, and it's detailed and it's comprehensive. And that is the most important thing when it comes to a long-term custom sustainable plan. So I would really encourage you to consider this offer. It is one of the things that we love doing for people. You'll be put into our private coaching group as well, where you can ask questions and you can get some support and some accountability. But take up the offer, because more than anything, this is going to help you get to your goal. It's going to be specific to you no matter where you're at. If you're a complete beginner or you're completely advanced, I can help you get to those goals and achieve them all on a whole foods, vegan, plant-based diet. You'll feel stronger, you'll get better results than you ever have before.